Okay, that's pretty much for drinking water. Let's talk about wastewater. In Seoul, we say that it's a water reclamation, not wastewater treatment. Okay, the organization is different from drinking water. And it's called Bureau of Water Cycle and Safety. And it has 4 bureaus and 4 wastewater treatment plants. Let's think about one thing. Drinking water and wastewater, which one is bigger? I mean, in a city, for a city. Which one should be bigger? Drinking water or wastewater? Wastewater has to be bigger because all the drinking water, used drinking water, goes to the wastewater plus rainwater. So wastewater has to be bigger. Do you remember we have 6 water treatment plants in Seoul? Drinking water 6, but wastewater 4, which means wastewater treatment plant is huge. So it has same problem. When the economy grew fast, bigger plant is good for treat wastewater because we can reduce the treatment cost. But right now, we wanted to control quality. It's hard with the big one, right? So do you remember we had 4.5 million cubic meter per day of capacity for drinking water, and wastewater is 5.8 million cubic meter. And sewage system has length of 10,000 kilometers. In Seoul, the sewage system looks like this. There is 2 systems, 2 sewer systems. One is a combined system, the other is separate system. Are you familiar with that terminology? No? Combined one means the wastewater shows the red line. Wastewater goes to the rainwater, stormwater. It goes to the sewer together. That's combined sewer. Separate sewer means the wastewater and rainwater is separated. Which one is better? So separate one is good, but Seoul use combined one. Why? Do you remember the precipitation pattern of Seoul? It's squeezed into rainy season, right? So 2/3 of annual precipitation concentrated in 2 months. So usually we don't have stormwater. There is a terminology called Q. 1 Q means the treatment capacity of the wastewater treatment plant. So if there is wastewater plus rainwater, if it is 1 Q, the flow is 1 Q, then the water goes to treatment plant. If it is 2 Q, we have more rain, then it goes to treatment plant. But 1 Q is the capacity for treatment, right? So 1 Q is treated, and the other 1 Q is preliminary treated and is mixed and discharged to the river. 3 Q, more water, more rainwater, it goes to treatment center too. And 1 Q is treated, the other Q is preliminary treated and mixed it together with treated water and discharged. The rain, more rain, if it goes over 3 Q, then the overflow goes directly to the river. We call that CSOS, combined sewer overflow. So again, 1 Q goes to plant, 2 Q goes plant, 3 Q plant, and overflow from 3 Q only goes to the river. So the stormwater of urban area, the first one is very bad because the road is dirty, and if there is an initial rain, then it goes wash the dirt. So 1 Q is bad. 2 Q and 3 Q is clean, relatively clean. So 3 Q can go directly to the river. But the event which has overflow than 3 Q in a year in Seoul is very rare. Understand? That's why the combined sewer system is more efficient for Seoul. Understand? So 87% of sewer system in Seoul is combined one. And we have new community, new city. Then in that case, we separate system, so it's 13%. Again, this is the Seoul, and this is Han River. This is upstream. Do you remember the drinking water? We have 6 plants, and wastewater we have 4 plants. 1, 2 covers northern part. 1, 2 covers southern part. This is largest one. This is second largest one. This is capacity for the 4 wastewater treatment plant. Take a look at the size of plant. This is second largest one. You can see this is plant, wastewater treatment plant, and you can compare the size of plant with the community and buildings around the plant. It's huge. Most of water demand, 87%, comes from domestic in Seoul, because we don't have much farms and factories in Seoul. And I calculate the water balance. This is Han River. CMS stands for cubic meter per second. It's kind of flow. I averaged for 10 years, from 2004 2013. The average water flow of Han River is 600. And about 6% of Han River is taken for treatment of drinking water. And citizens use it. And it goes to wastewater treatment plant with stormwater. So 9% is returned to Han River. In 2016, we have severe drought for 3 years. So it was 600 CMS. If the flow of Han River is 600 CMS, then 6% is used for drinking water for the citizen of Seoul, right? But the flow decreased to 200, 100, and November of 2016, it goes 50, means 10%, right? In that case, 70% of Han River is taken to make drinking water. So the city is about to warn emergency just before that. But luckily we have rain. So we made many promotions and the campaigns like let's save water, let's use rainwater, something like that. People listen to us, but after we have rain, nobody listened to me. Anyhow, we had the problems at that time. So the city found out that we need to have another alternative water source, like recycled wastewater or the rainwater or something like this. Right now, water recycle and reuse rate in Seoul, when we use water reuse, then there are 3 categories. One is wastewater reuse, the other is rainwater use, and the last one is gray water. Do you know what gray water is? When you use water at your house, toilet water is separated. The other water, like shower or wash dishes, can be reused with small treatment, preliminary treatment. We can use that water again, like a toilet water. So that's gray water. So 3 categories. One is recycled wastewater, rainwater, and gray water. That's reused water. Total reused rate is 4.4% in Seoul. It's very low. So it means we don't reuse water. It's the water reuse rate in some countries like US 1%, Greece, Italy. I think the reason why people don't reuse water is related with price, water tariff. Water tariff in Korea is very, very cheap. So there is no incentive for citizens to reuse water because tap water is too cheap. So city made plan to increase the reuse rate to 14% from 4%. So it's the plan to increase the reuse rate, like a rainwater harvesting. To increase rainwater harvesting, we support citizens to install some green infrastructure like passageway path and green roof, and sometimes the city supports 90% of installation cost for rainwater harvesting barrel. But as you can see, only 70 sites installed that system. Why? Yeah, installation 90% is good, but the owner had to pay operational cost, right? Operational cost is more expensive than tap water. Actually, there is a building code in Seoul, in Korea. If you wanted to build a certain size of building, you have to have rainwater harvesting facility. You know, if you wanted to build some kind of infrastructure like a public park or private, then you have to have certain amount of a facility to store rainwater. Like it's a private structure, then you have to have facility to store 5.5 millimeter of rainwater, something like that. That's low impact development regulation. We have planned to increase gray water reuse, and also we have planned to increase wastewater recycle. But wastewater recycle is very hard to expand because of the production cost. The treatment, the cost for wastewater recycle is much higher than the production of drinking water. But anyhow, we have planned to increase it. Again, this is Seoul, and this is the second largest one. This is the largest one. Remember this one. And this is Han River. This is wastewater treatment plant, the largest one. And Seoul just finished to build another small city just near the plant. And when we built this community, we installed 2 lines of water supply line. One is for drinking water. The other is for the recycled water supply system. Landscape management and road washing will use the recycled water from this plant. So we can increase the water reuse rate. Urban drainage system. We have integrated monitoring system and hydrological information system. Like hydrological information system is very important in terms of like we can have the prediction system for time for flood to arrive the city, something like that. So we have hydrological information system, and we have stormwater retention basin at the underground of the structures. Like if it is school, then we have underwater stormwater retention basin, and even the road has the basins under the road. The size, we have 14 basins, and it has 100,000 cubic meter of size. So with this basin, we can reduce the peak of storm. And we have planned to increase it to 26 basin. And CSO, do you remember? Combined sewer overflow. If there is a 3Q, then the overflow goes direct to the river. Even though that 3Q water is clean, we made basin to store it for some time. So the dirt can be settled down, and the clean water on the top will go directly to river. So we have 2 basins of 11,000 cubic meter, but city has planned to increase it to 9 more basins.